What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 5 Team Builder here in the NPBF Season 12 Monotype Season. Your Anaheim Appletons are, I believe, currently 3-1 with pretty okay differential. I think we're like plus 10 or plus 8 or something like that. Like, we've gotten a couple of really close wins back to back. Plus 8, plus 9, something like that. Like, we're doing pretty fine. We're doing good for ourselves. So, that's good and all. This week we are taking on a very tough opponent in Alex and his Greenwich Giratinas with their mono ice team. So, a lot of interesting threats that are going to be coming our way, and certainly not going to be an easy matchup to say the very least. Alex is rocking out with the Kyurem Black, the Alolan Ninetales, the Mamoswine, Arctozolt, Cloyster, Weavile, Alolan Sandslash, Mr. Rime, Regice, Sylveon, Incineroar, and Mega Abomasnow. So, a couple things about the matchup itself. One, I do need to specify that Kyurem Black is not allowed to run Dragon Dance. We banned Dragon Dance on Kyurem Black specifically, because that's broken. So, yeah, that's a thing. So he has Hail, obviously. Yeah, so it's going to be a weather war. We're going to be fighting for weather control throughout the course of this game, which is going to be a massive pain in my dick. I hate fucking weather wars. I hate them so much. I fucking hate them. I fucking hate them. Weather wars are trash. So not fun to play. But, yeah, we have a definite weather war here. Our Rain versus his Hail. With his Alolan Ninetales trying to set that up for things like the Arctozolt and the Alolan Sandslash to abuse. He also has threats like the Cloyster, which can Shell Smash, but can also be very defensive against our team. Yeah, Cloyster can play a very defensive role against our team and, like, really fuck us up, which I'm not looking forward to having to deal with. I should actually pull out my notes for this one. I believe I had notes for this one. I probably have notes for this one. I do have notes for this one. Sick. Weavile just hits like a truck, so it's going to be annoying to deal with. Mr. Rime, we've seen what Mr. Rime is all about. It's caused plenty of problems for plenty of people, so I don't want to really looking forward to deal with that. Regice can be an incredible tank against a lot of our team, so that's not fun. I could see Sylveon maybe coming too, just so he has less ice issues to deal with, our Volcanion, just as like a bulky thing to switch in on our Volcanion. I don't know. I don't think Incineroar shows up. I think Incineroar is probably going to take the bench this week, which I think makes sense in my brain. My brain says that it doesn't make sense to bring Incineroar against Mono Water. I also think Mamoswine probably takes a backseat this week as well. I'm not really too worried about that. Arctozolt, I think, definitely shows up, and that thing basically forced part of my prep. I'm not gonna be lying. I won't lie to you. It forced part of my prep. It forced one Mon in general just show up to the game. Didn't really give me much of a choice on that one, but yeah. So this is gonna be a tough matchup. This is gonna be a tough matchup because he's got a lot of very heavy hitting offensive mons, and if he can get his Hail going and his Hail core to really start rolling, it's going to be a mess. So, yeah, so let's start going over what we have for him. The first mon, obviously, we're going to be bringing him this week. Yellowstone, the Volcanion, with the Expert Belt Water Absorb ability, of course. 248 HP, 44 into special attack, and 216 in speed with a hasty nature. The moveset being Flame Charge, Defog, Flamethrower, and Steam Eruption. So, let's go over this. All right, first of all, Defog. Defog is important. I think. Is Defog important? You can set up like spikes with Cloister. You can set up rocks with Mammoth Swine, but I don't think Mammoth Swine comes. Aurora Veil. We have Defog specifically because he can set Aurora Veil, and I do not want him to have Aurora Veil ever. If I can consistently prevent Aurora Veil from being on the field for more than like a turn or two, that's the goal. I do not want him to have Aurora Veil. That extra bulk is unnecessary and bullshit. I'm no, not allowed. So we have Defog specifically for that Aurora Veil to keep that off the field. The speed on Volcanion here is to outpace a Alolan Sandslash outside of Hail. The goal is to kind of just be able to click Flame Charge once or twice, hopefully twice, and get up to that +2 so that we can outpace a Alolan Sandslash in Hail. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult to get that +2, but we're certainly going to try to make it happen. Probably going to have to make some risky plays in order to get it, but we can probably make that happen. We can actually 2-hit KO Alolan Ninetales, being hasty nature. Instead, we 2-hit KO Alolan Ninetales with the Expert Belt Flame Charge, which is really nice. So that's max HP Alolan Ninetales, I believe. That's like the base set they have on Showdown Damage Calc, so that's pretty cool. So, like, obviously, if we can keep the Veil off the field and get the Flame Charge up, one Flame Charge will outspeed the Alolan Ninetales, and then if they set up the Veil, we can defog it away, and then we'll be able to finish it off afterwards with another Flame Charge. So that's pretty cool. Or we can honestly just like continue to Flame Charge it while the Veil's up, and then defog it like shortly thereafter. Because like regardless, like Alolan Ninetales can't really touch us well, so that's an important piece of information we need to have there. Steam Eruption is also really, really solid in this matchup because most of the very threatening mons that he could bring against us don't want to be burned. Things like Cloister, Arctozolt, Kyurem Black, none of those want to be burned. So they definitely don't want to be switching in on this. And then once we get a Flame Charge or 2 up, we can just click Flamethrower, like, consistently, most of the time. Especially if we're trying to fight for weather. Him actually putting Hail up, while it might be a negative situation for, like, my Rain core, it is a positive situation for Volcanion, so that's pretty sick. Next up, we have Doodra, the Kingdra, rocking the Life Orb this week, Swift Swim. Max attack, Lonely Nature, 28 into special attack, and 228 into speed. Sub, Iron Head, Dragon Pulse, and Dragon Dance. Okay, so this set is very interesting. Talk about the sub. Sub kind of helps capitalize on Hailmon, on his Hailmons trying to switch in, either the Abomasnow or the Alolan Ninetales. If they're trying to switch in while our Rain is up and Kingdra's on the field, we can try to get a sub up as they come in, so that we can, continue to punish them from trying to do anything to us. Ironhead pretty much nukes most of his team. Like, when I say nukes most of his, I mean like fucking obliterates it. Like, eats through Mammoth Swine, Alolan Ninetales, Kyurem Black, Weavile, it fucking demolishes most of his team. It's really fucking gross. So that's pretty sick. Really happy with how much damage that does. It's so important to have too, just in case the Sylveon shows up, because I do believe that like Life Orb attack boosting Iron Head from Kingdra, I'm pretty sure like Oko's defensive Sylveon, which is pretty sick. So that's awesome. We have the Dragon Pulse, and then the reason why we're running Lonely Nature is because we want to be able to Oko Cloyster, because Life Orb Dragon Pulse just does it. Because Cloyster Spadef is dog shit. Dog shit low. So if it's an offensive Cloyster, we one-shot it. If it's like a defensive Cloyster, it would probably be more physically defensive, obviously, because it's a very physically bulky mon that has like no Spadef whatsoever. So Dragon Pulse should be able to pick up the KO on it. And if for some reason it doesn't, then we are EV'd speed-wise to outpace a Cloyster while in ring. And then we have the Dragon Dance. Now, Dragon Dance was... like, I had 3 moves sitting on this Kingdra for, like, ages. And then I threw Dragon Dance on there at the end because... if I can get a Dragon Dance up, like, while Rain is up, and I'm in if I'm in a good position, or if I'm forcing something out and I can get a Dragon Dance up, that keeps me in a favorable position, even if they go into one of their Hail Mons. Because then I will outspeed those Hailmons and be able to smack them incredibly hard with a boost. Now, like, +1 boosted Iron Head with the Life Orb as well. So I can really just rip a hole through whatever he has on his team. So this thing, this thing can function... this thing functions extremely well in rain. But it also has ways that it can capitalize on them setting up the hail, or benefit from them setting up the hail as well. Can set himself up to still be a threat while the hail's up. So Kingdra is definitely a mon that's going to put in a decent amount of work. I'm going to have to be very careful with Kingdra though, because obviously freeze dry is a thing. And a lot of these mons do get it. Arctazol gets it. If you run special, Mr. Rhyme gets it. Alolan Ninetales gets it. Kieran Black gets it. A lot of mons do get access to it, so I'm going to have to be extremely careful. But I think I can handle that. I have ways of dealing with it. Yeah, but next, obviously, we have to have our Rain Setter. And that is going to be our boy, Muddy the Politoed, with the Wakanberry Drizzle for the ability Scald, Whirlpool, Perish Song, and Protect. 248 HP, 176 defense with Bold Nature, and 84 Spadef. Let's see. The Toad can Perish Trap Alolan Ninetales and a couple other mons. The Wakanberry and the defense investment allows us to take under half from a Kieran Black Fusion Bolt. That is a Life Orb, Kieran Black Fusion Bolt. We take under half from that, which is pretty sick. But the key thing here is Perish trapping something, specifically Alolan Ninetales. I want to... if I can get a Whirlpool off on that thing, that's huge. If I can get a Perish Song off on that thing, that's even more huge. Because I could see Alolan Ninetales coming in directly on this thing. You know, like, all willy-nilly. So, if I can get that set up, or that kind of, put myself in that kind of situation, that could be really huge. Plus, in a lot of cases, if I just throw off a Perish Song while Politoed's in the field, if something comes in, I can just click Whirlpool the following turn. They can't Oko me. And whatever it is that I got Perish Songed, all I have to do is protect once. And then they're dead. Because I can just swap out. And have them die to Perish Song. So it's actually a really, really interesting tech. And if I can get it to work on the Alolan Ninetales, that would be even better. But other than that, Scald is just, there for potentially picking up burns and just, being a decent water stab in general. Pretty straightforward stuff there. Next up, we have the debut of our boy, Paul the Slowbro. Paul is here. Paul is the man. Also holding a Wakan Berry. So we have our 2 Wakan Berries this week. We're actually doing the 2 item per team, kind of limit. We're reaching that here, which I don't believe we've done yet. I don't remember if we've done yet. 248 HP, 252 defense, bold nature, 8 and 2 special attack, or special defense. Scald, Flamethrower, Body Press, and Thunder Wave. Slowbro lives any 1 hit from any physical mon on their team. Period. It just does. Thunder Wave is super duper important because he only has 2 immunities to it on his entire team, and a lot of the mons that aren't immune to it don't appreciate it at all, which is very nice. So being able to slow down some members of his team could potentially be beneficial to us. Flamethrower, obviously, because it is coverage that is super effective on 90% of his team. Scald, just for the sake of having Scald, having some nice water stab. And then I have Body Press, because I'm a Slowbro. I'm a very physically defensive tank, and just being able to click a fighting move that goes off of that base 110 defense, that 350 defense stat, is kind of disgusting, and is going to really fuck some people up. So, yeah, so that's pretty fucking sick. Slowbro is pretty solid. So, yeah, really, really excited about this Slowbro. Obviously, the Wakan is for Kieran Black again, which does not appreciate a Body Press, by the way. Body Press just fucking destroys that thing, which is disgusting. Like, Body Press Slowbro is so gross. I love it. I forgot that it got Body Press for a little bit until I started prepping, and then I threw Slowbro on here, and I was like, looking through the moveset, I was trying to find like a 4th move, and Body Press just kind of popped out in my face. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm all about that shit. Yeah, Slowbro's gonna put in a little work. Next up, we have Lamp. Lamp, the boy, with the Shukaberry, Volt Absorb, Thunder Wave, Scald, Toxic, Dazzling Gleam. I've made sure that like 90% of my team had Scald because of the fact that just in case we get like a Blizzard Freeze or an Ice Beam Freeze or a Freeze Dry Freeze, we can just immediately thaw out with Scald afterwards. They have no way of capitalizing off of that, really. They have no water immunities, so like it's free to click that Scald, and like burns can happen and stuff too out of that, so that's pretty sick. So Lantern's 248 HP, 248 defense, and 12 into Spadef with a Calm Nature. The defense investment prevents a 2-hit KO from Life Orb Fusion Bolt from Kieran Black, because obviously Kieran Black has the Terravolt, so obviously it'll ignore our Volt Absorb, so it'll just be able to smack us with Fusion Bolt anyway. The main reason we are here with our Volt Absorb is to cover for the Arctozolt, because my team does not take a Bolt Beak. Nothing on my team takes a Bolt Beak. If I had Mega Swampert, we'd have something that could take a Bolt Beak, but we don't have. With Mega Swampert around, we have nothing that can take a Freeze Dry. Like, everything on our team besides Kingdra can take a Freeze Dry. Can take at least 1 or 2 Freeze Dries from most members on their team that have it, so that's important. The Shukaberry covers things like Mammoth Swine, Stomping Tantrum on Arctozolt, Earth Power on Kyurem, all those kinds of things. It just gives us options for, and then we can T-Wave a lot of those mons back, or in the case of Arctozolt, we can Toxic it, or Scald it, which I think could be very beneficial to us. And Gleam was again another one of those cases of like a last minute ad, because it guaranteed breaks at least like a non-HP invested Kieran Black substitute, which I thought was extremely important. I could see Kieran Black trying to set up a sub in front of this thing, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm not. And I will reveal that Dazzling Gleam as fast as possible to tell him, if he is a subset, that I'm not allowing that. You're not having a substitute. This is not allowed. Mind you, I also have things like Toxic and stuff against a lot, or for a lot of his team, because of the Baton Pass shenanigans he pulled on Chris a couple weeks ago. None of that Baton Pass shenanigans. I will be toxicking everything and whittling everything down, so that is not allowed. So in our last mon, we have Waterclef, the Vaporeon, holding the leftovers with the Water Absorb ability. Could actually go with... No, I need Water Absorb. Just in case. I was debating Hydration, but I need Water Absorb. We have Wish, Protect, Flip Turn, Scald, max physically defensive. Fizz Def lives Fusion Bolt after rocks from Kyurem. That's Life Orb, Fusion Bolt, of course. Again. And just kind of bulks its way through a lot of mons. It's just really, really fat in general, which is really nice. Being able to Wish and then Flip Turn that out into other mons is really, really important for this matchup. Having Scald, again, to be able to defrost itself if it gets frozen. Could be something that's useful. We'll see. But mainly this thing's just here to play Cleric and pass us wishes around, so hopefully that will pan out. But with that being said, that is going to be it for our team builder. The battle will be going up tomorrow. But until then, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace!